3 verse 5. The just Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning that he bringeth judgment to light, he faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rokakudash. Double honors, apostles, and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to you, beloved Akim, that is pushing his word in sincerity and truth, with humiliation all across the four winds. To you, I salute. This is the brother Desire One back at you with another lesson to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashai.
Out your tickets now. We're playing Quick 2.
Every morning he bringeth judgment to light. There's a stabbing incident. The eyewitness knows a 26-year-old Royal Bahamas Defense Force is recovering in a hospital after being stabbed during an altercation at Bay Street Business Establishment early Monday morning. According to police, the victim became involved in a verbal dispute with an unknown man shortly after 1 a.m. The confrontation allegedly escalated into a physical altercation, during which the suspected produced the suspect produced a sharp object and stabbed the officer on the left shoulder before fleeing. The victim was transported to hospital where he was treated for injuries that are not considered life-threatening. Police are searching for the suspect. So, there's these young generation, they don't know what is conflict resolution. Alright? They're just quick to get angry. Alright? They don't know how to de-escalate situations. Alright? They only know how to escalate it. Alright? And when you angry, what anger does? When you angry, it says, Ecclesiastes 7:9, be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger rested in the bosom of fools. You see that? When you angry, that's what happened. Anger rested in the bosom of fools. Alright, sometimes you just gotta know when to walk away. But Jake persona over here in the Bahamas is that, this one believe they're bad or whatever. Alright. I know if he had on this uniform or whatever, but I don't think so. He might have been just in regular clothes. Alright, but you know how these young Jakes go. They don't care. But this is judgment. Every morning bring a judgment to light. Alright. That could have been his death. Alright, but that was a warning from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Alright, that's a warning from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. No, okay, that's a warning. Alright, and the sword always prepared, because that's the spirit of vengeance, right? The sword always prepared for wicked of our people, but this is Sirach 40 and verse 8. Such things happen unto all flesh, but both man and beast, and that is sevenfold more upon sinners. You see that? Sevenfold means completion. Death and bloodshed, strife. You see that? Strife. And sword. You see that? The sword. Calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. These things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood. So that proves he's wicked, because he got into that strife. With that other guy, trick him and then stab him and then push out. Alright. But hey, like I say, a lot of these young individuals, they believe, because sometimes they working on a force, police force, you know what I mean? Niggas don't care about that. At the end of the day, you gotta use wisdom in these times, but know how to de-escalate situations. Alright. Okay, watch this. Let me see. Conflict resolution is a process of resolving disputes or disagreements peacefully. It relies on actively listening, emotional awareness, and empathy. The goal is to identify the root cause of the issue and collaborate on a mutual beneficial solution, rather than focusing on winning the argument. And that's what a lot of these jakes do. They just don't want to calm down in situations, and that's why they find themselves in a lot of shit. Either somebody gets shoot, chick, something devastating happens because they don't know what is conflict resolution. All right, because when you blow a spark, what can happen? It's in the book of Sirach. I think it's in the book of Sirach. Right? It's Sirach 11. Sirach. Salakia. I was trying to look for this word. Right. Sirach 28 and 12. All right. Let me start at verse 10. Let me get it in the GA. Morning. Give me a minute. Argument, see? Scripture touch on everything. It says, if you stay out of argument, you will not sin so much. All right? Because a hot temper gets them started. It is sinful to break up a friendship by greed and hostility among people who get well along one another. The more fuel, the harder the fire. See, the more stubbornness, the harder the argument, and the stronger or richer people, the angrier they can afford to become. An argument that blazes out suddenly can lead to violence. You cannot blow a spark or make it glow, or you can spit. You can blow on a spark to make it glow, or you can spit on it to put it out. Either way you do it with your mouth. You see that? All right. It starts with the mouth. All right. Your judgment starts with your mouth. So you just got to be careful in these last days, because these young jakes, you know, they don't know how to de-escalate situation. They don't know it's conflict resolution. So that's, at the end of the day, judgment going forth if you're wicked. All right. That's the Lord judgment, because they could have been as dead. All right. So it pays the best in this time to be wise and don't be hasty to be angry. Learn how to walk away. Be the bigger man, walk away. And that's what these jakes can't do. They can't walk away. But yeah, man, I just want to bring out the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. Shalom.